Hi guys, Ian at the DGC, the Decorators Growth Club. Good evening. I'm in the office. I'm just going through my Asana board with just ideas of, like I said, a culture, just insights, ramblings of a madman, just thoughts that obviously come across, stuff that we've done or I've done whilst taking training courses. I'm lucky, I'm very lucky. I get to speak to decorators every week, in person, to be fair. Decorators who are focused on and in their business. But it's surprising how many decorators are, I suppose, deep in their business and not necessarily focused or working on their business. So the DGC is trying to give you insights and ideas moving forward of better ways to work on your business. So there's something here that I want to talk about. How many competitors are in your area? Everybody's worried about, obviously, the losing work for a price and everything else. This is just a small snippet, fraction of things that we're going to focus on. You know, how do we find out how many competitors are in the area? How do we find out who are their customers? How do we find out what they're charging? How do we find out if they are actively competing against you? Are they doing the same kind of work as you? Are they trying to attract the same kind of clients as you? There's a lot of stuff that I think when you know and you start simplifying it, it gets, at the moment, you know, it's like a machine gun approach. What we're trying to do with, obviously, the Growth Club is find ways to sniper down, just take time, take a breath, aim, get everything sniper sharp focus before you pull the trigger. So to do that, you've got to realize that you've got to narrow down your field. And this, like I say, is just a very simple exercise that we do. It might just give you a bit of an idea of what we're going to try and achieve over the next few weeks, months, etc. Let's have a go. Let's do the whiteboard. I like working with a whiteboard. It's just very interactive. So there's little you. Okay, that's where you live or that's where you work out of. So the first question you've got to do is identify your radius, because you know your business is local. And what is it? Is it let's say 15, 30, 45, or even outside that time zone of traveling? Because don't forget, everything you do, 30 minutes becomes an hour, plus any kind of traffic, etc. So with that, what you need to do is you need to start, we're going to try and help you figure this out, how many competitors are actually in and around your area. And don't forget, they're only in your area, but they're not in your area from where you are. There's obviously circles that cross over. How far will they travel? So don't forget, your competitors are further afield. But that is a really powerful thing, because if you've got a decorator business that taps into each of these circles, he's equally focused on everything over here. So this becomes less. So these guys here become less and less. So what I'm saying is you've got decorators all over the place, and they are in these circles. It's not an issue. When you start actually focusing down on a few elements, if you can focus down on your marketing, therefore, if you can start to find the clients that you want closer to home, because you don't need that many. This is something we'll talk about later. How many clients do you actually need? Probably a lot less than you think. You might need more inquiries, but you actually need less customers than you actually think. So what we want to do here is, first thing is, we need to think about our distance. We need to cap our distance. We need to say, right, we're traveling no more than 45 minutes. That's an hour and a half every day. So don't forget, if you could reduce that to 30, you're saving 30 minutes. You could stay at work 30 minutes longer, get the job over, make more profit. That's up to you. Or you could take that 30 minutes and every day, okay, So what's that? 2.5 hours a week that you could spend working on your business just by, and imagine what you could do with that. Imagine what you could do with 2.5 hours if you were able to reduce your traveling time. Imagine how much money you would save just in fuel. So that side of it, if you could actually focus on something that for a lot of you is a new concept, which is marketing and very, very specific target marketing. Your target marketing to a particular demographic in a certain area that have got certain interests that relate to what you're actually offering as a business. So what we want to do first is reduce the distance. And equally, by reducing your distance as well, you're reducing your competition. You're reducing some of these competitors out of the equations. And again, if you reduce, you're reducing all of these guys, and you're now focusing on less people. You're focusing, by reducing your distance, you're actually reducing, again, the amount of competitors in and around your area. I'm being very, very specific here. So we're removing a lot of the competitors. And don't get me wrong, you're removing yourself out of their window as well. Not that that's an issue, but what you're now doing is you're focusing on these guys that are your competitors, let's say, in this area, which is cold. So now the next thing you need to do is specialize in something in particular. What is it that you specialize in that these guys don't? Is that something that is obviously the spraying side of it? Is it something that you do within the residential side? Your particular sector, particular size, particular demographic? Kitchens, what we did. So we focused quite heavily on kitchen resprays. Well, our marketing alone has actually said that that is our speciality, whereas these guys might kind of do kitchens. You know what I mean? So what we're going to do is we're going to straight away cut a huge percentage of competitors out of this area. So now we have got less and less and less. How many competitors in your area? If you can reduce your distance and you can focus on just 2 to 3 main aspects within your business, then that's the key. The other thing that you also want to focus on, which is something that's coming, is we're going to be heavily focused on pricing. If we can get you to get your pricing not cheaper by any stretch, if anything, more expensive. But what we're trying to do is get you to get your pricing on point. If you know what your numbers are, if you assume that you would have to take a job on for 2,000, but actually once you've done your numbers, you know that you can afford to take that 1750, and you're still not losing money. That gives you 250 quid to outperform and outmaneuver your customers, your competitors. It's not about being cheaper, because you know what your numbers are. We're going to teach you that if you were to negotiate with your clients and customers in a certain way, you're going to get so much more out of that. We negotiate with our clients in a very, very clever way from a marketing perspective to make sure that they kind of do the marketing for us in a very powerful way that actually allows us to get to that next customer long before they started looking for a competitor. I mean, actually, even they're just like, no, we want Ian to do the work because he's done the work here. It's been recommended, and we've encouraged the customer because of obviously what we've done to do that. There's so many ways to reduce your competitors. At the moment, you're losing work probably to price because someone else is pricing cheaper, and you think there's all these people. When you start focusing on your distance as one, you start focusing on what it is that you want to deliver as your business, you start focusing on what your demographic looks like, in other words, which customers, and you understand your pricing, your competitors, they haven't got a leg to stand on, they've got nowhere to go. You can outmaneuver them so well that you can afford to take the work and still make more money because of the clients that you're heading for. These are little snippets and snapshots of what we're going to work on moving forward. So that you just start doing better jobs for better customers, for better prices, for better outcomes, for That feeling of like, Jesus Christ, I love that job. I love that client. I want another one. I want another one like it. How do I get it? Well, firstly, I don't have to fight my competitors because my clients are now working on behalf of me because I've figured all these other bits out. So, guys, this stuff that we're working on, it's powerful shit. I mean, it's stuff that we're going to do collectively. I'm not saying I've got all the answers, but geez, we've really got better and better and better at all the stuff that we do for our own business. And there's certain people that obviously have come through, let's say, the Growth Club, and then they've gone into the mentor program, and they're now doing likewise. I mean, some of these guys are absolutely frigging smashing it. So I'm trying to get you guys to get involved, look at your business different. I don't. Things are coming. Things are changing. They're going to be a funny old time over the next maybe couple of years because of what's in the economy and everything. So everything here, if you get busy now, you will reap the rewards. Don't worry about your competitors. Okay, just freaking outperform them. Outmaneuver them. Just get really good at this. Start thinking about marketing and using your customers in the right way for getting the right customers further down the line for the right prices. Guys, I can't stress enough. You can see that I get juiced up on all this. I think it's absolutely frigging awesome. So, like I said, I'll have a look at it. It resonates with some of you. Some of you might not get it. That's absolutely fine. And again, it's not for everybody, is it? Cool. Right. Have yourself a cracking evening, and I will catch you on the next one. Cool.